I can still remember when Tinder first came out in Australia back in, 2012. And I remember it because I had been running a dating coaching company, School of Attraction, this very same one, for already 3 years. And when Tinder came out, man, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It was like killing fish with a grenade. An average guy could get a couple of really mediocre photos. And with a tiny little bit of just marginally passable banter, they could hop onto Tinder and they could be getting 9, 10, 11 dates a week. No kidding. And it was like more women than they could possibly eat. And sure, the quality wasn't quite as high as if you cold approach, but the women were friendly and they were happy and they were excited to be there. And it was all novel and it was the good old days. It was the good days for them. Like Tinder was this cool, fun little thing that you could just go on dates randomly. And it was great. It was a lovely experience. But times have changed, haven't they? Nowadays, almost everybody meets online. That's the normal way to meet. In fact, if you meet a girl somewhere that wasn't online, it's a story to tell because it's unusual. And people are less happy with dating in general. We have a loneliness epidemic on our hands. We have men and women with the lowest dating satisfaction scores ever recorded. It seems like the quality of people that we meet and the amount of fun that we're having in dating is at an all-time low. And still, I get a lot of guys who come to me and they say, because I teach guys how to get great online dating profiles and I teach guys how to approach. A lot of guys come to me and they say, Damien, I'm introverted, I'm shy, I'm not used to going out to bars and clubs so much. So what I'd really love is I'd love you to teach me, help me build a really amazing profile so that I can get some matches, so that I can start getting some dates. But here's the rub, and I can teach you to do that, but here's the rub. The amount of work that the average guy now needs to put into this is about the same as the amount of work he's going to need to put into if he just wants to learn to go to a bar or a club or out during the day and meet women that way. It's about the same now because the competition has become so extreme that yes, unless if you're like really good looking and well built and all those things, online dating's easy. But for the more average guys, it's hard. It's doable, absolutely doable, but much harder. Same amount of work now. It's not easier. I don't care if you're introverted or shy or nervous or any of those things. The fact of the matter is that you're still going to have to meet these women in real life, and you're still going to have to build attraction. You're still going to have to use all the skills that you would have learned doing cold approach. But instead, with online dating, you first have to learn how to build great profiles and get women out on those dates. And when you start getting those dates, the women are less excited to be there. They're often jaded. They're flaky. You get all the negative stuff. And guys, I really mean it. I don't think you should be going to online dating as a first option. I honestly believe pretty much every guy should be learning to cold approach. And I'm going to tell you why, because most of the skills that you learn when you do this, it's not about dating. It's not about flirting. Really what you're learning, 90% of what you're learning is core, deep social skills. I mean, think about it. If you learn this stuff and you have the ability to walk up to someone, anyone, and create likability quickly, right? Forget about a guy or a girl, right? Imagine that you have a job interview, right? And in that job interview, you make that interviewer feel like you connect, like you get them, like you laugh together, right? You share a couple of jokes together and it's fun. Who do you think they're going to look for reasons to hire, right? You or the boring person who is well credentialed as well, but not that fun to be around, okay? You're going to get the job. What do you think about when it's time to get a raise? Who do you think gets the raise, right? The person who most people in the office like and get along well with, or the person who's quiet and most people don't really know very well, okay? This is just how it is in the world, right? This skill that you learn isn't limited only to dating. It's not only limited to relationships. The other thing is that when you're learning cold approach, really what you're doing with so much of your time is you're being social, you're going out with friends, you're in a social environment. A lot of people downplay how critical that is to our emotional health. And I know a lot of the guys who follow me on this channel don't have as good a social life as they need to have for their emotional health. You know, when I was learning this stuff, it didn't matter whether we were doing well and getting results. It didn't. We were out with friends and we were talking to girls, and sure, we'd sometimes get blown out of the water and we'd have funny stories to tell and we'd laugh about it together and we'd have a couple of drinks and it was just boys having fun and like having a generally positive outlook on life, even if we weren't getting all the results we wanted to get. But when you're doing online dating, you're alone. You're alone when you're swiping. You're alone when you see, every time you look at your phone, see you don't get any matches. You're alone when girls block you for no reason. You're alone when you have a date and it's a crap date. You're alone when you go home. It's different. And every failure that you have on online dating cuts deeper because you don't have your friends around you like you do when you're cold approaching. And so it's just harder emotionally on the soul, online dating. And sure, it still has a place. When I'm single, I have an online dating profile to supplement the women that I meet in everyday life, because why not? Because I've got the skills, because I can still do well. And it's better. But for most guys, I promise you, you're going to meet more interesting, more intelligent, more pretty, more all things women if you actually learn to talk to them out in the real life, not seeking online. It's a better environment for pretty much everyone. And so that's the skill that I highly recommend that you guys learn. Now, hopefully this hasn't been too much of a rant for you guys. It's my first video back after I was running my Miami bootcamps, which were an absolute blast, by the way. And many of you might not know, but I'm going to be in Europe in a couple of months. I plan to run another couple of boot camps there. And if you are interested in doing a boot camp with me, I highly recommend you check it out. I'll put a link down there where you can basically just register your name and we'll have a chat about if this is the right program for you, where I'm going to be running the program, where you live, because I'm probably going to be in a couple of different locations. We're going to have a chat about that. Just register your interest down below. As always, guys, I'm really sorry that it's been so long since I made my last video, but I'm back home. I'm back in my regular routines. The video is going to be coming a little bit harder and a little bit faster from now on. So I hope you enjoy those. I look forward to seeing you in my future videos. Take care, guys.